So right here, what we're gonna do is to make sure that we explode. So we have this, in PHP, explode simply takes what you have and divides it and saves it in an array. So we're just gonna say list or skills equal to explode, and we know that each of them is divided by a comma, and we're gonna say explode this. So remember, each skill in this skills table, or what I'm not sure of, let us quickly confirm that what we have in the sign up, the name is skills. Okay, so it's skills. So right here in the auth controller, we're grabbing the skills field, and we know that the skills listed there are separated by comma. You understand? So we explode this by comma, and then we're going to use a for loop to update each of them into the skills table. So we're going to say for each skills as skill. So this is going to be a variable, and this is going to be a variable. So for each of these, we now have the list of each. You can now say save in the skills table. All right, so this sorts. So we will remove this to remove this error. So we're good to go. So we're gonna write a code right now that will update our users table. Remember, you can always read up all these codes in your Laravel. So what I'm gonna do is to quickly look at the edit method in our users. So we'll go to users controller. We'll look for the edit method. As you can see, this is the method that updates a table. So we can just copy it, come to our auth controller where we were, and do the same thing. But then this time around, we're doing it for the skills table. So we'll say skill, and we'll say skill. And there are two things we're saving in this skill. Number one, we're saving the skill name. Remember, in the database, we have name, and then we're going to save the user ID. So these two things, everything is irrelevant for us for now. So what we're gonna do is the skill name is skill, because we just took one out of the whole list here. So we're just gonna say the skill name is a variable called skill. So first of all, I think we should just create this instead of update. We should just keep creating fields. So if, instead of just update, we can just say create. So we'll just take this guy for creating and just say from here, we're not updating, we're creating. That was a mistake on my side. So okay, we are basically creating a new skill. For each new skill we are creating, we are saving the user's name, so the user's ID. So the user's ID is available for us from here. Once you create this, we can get the user ID by simply doing user ID. Raw PHP provides this for us. So what we just did here is, first of all, take all the skills, break them according to comma, because we're expecting the user to separate them by comma. So for each one that we are getting, for each of the skill, we'll create a skill in a skills table and save that skill as in the name field, and then we save the user ID, all right, so that we know the user that owns the skill. So this pretty much solves our problem. We don't need to create it or anything. So this sorts our issue. And what we're going to do next is to this won't work because we've not imported the skill model. So if we go upstairs right here, we're supposed to import skill. All right, so now we're importing skill. The next thing we're supposed to do is to create the skill model. You understand? So we're going to use the command line for now to import the skill model. Now I'll just simply head to the command line. To do that, I'll just head to my raw PHP folder, right click and hold the shift key at the same time, and I'll open a command prompt. So I'll just do a very simple basic PHP, just cd into the bin folder, and from there I can do PHP raw and I'll just hit enter just to be sure that my PHP command prompt is running perfectly. So if you see this without any errors, it means you're good to go. So I'm just gonna do PHP raw make model, and what's the name of the model? Skill. So if I hit enter, it creates skill, and the result. So I'm just gonna go and check in models. So resources, models. So as you can see, skill.php has been created. So if you click on it, we have this very nice created for us. So we'll just quickly change this to skill, and of course the table is skills. So the next thing we're going to do is to make sure that we have name, description. You know where I got this from? Because we have a description in our database. So I'll show you shortly from our database. So from our database, we can see that we have skills. Oops, what am I doing? So from the skills table, structure. So as you can see, we have name, URL, description, user ID. So I'm just going to put these three. If you come here, description, user ID, and we're going to say URL. So these are the things that can be filled in from a form. So skills belong to a user, very good. And what else does skill belong to? Nothing else, okay? So that's cool. So another thing we can do is to make sure that a user has many skills. So we're going to do user belongs to, okay, we're just going to add this one and say has many. A user, we'll just call it skills. A user has many skills. Okay, that's good, and we are good to go. See you in the next video where we'll continue this skill issue.